You walk into your bathroom tonight, open that medicine cabinet, and there it is. The little brown bottle with the white label. 3% hydrogen peroxide. You probably paid 89 cents for it. Maybe on a scraped knee back in 2019. Then you forgot about it. That bottle is replacing $47 worth of products sitting on aisle 9 of your grocery store right now. The Amish in Lancaster County have used it for 100 years, quietly, without telling anyone, and once you see what they do with it, you will never spend $40 on a spray bottle again. In 1920, The Lancet, the same medical journal doctors used during the Spanish flu pandemic, published a report on physicians saving lives with hydrogen peroxide infusions to treat pneumonia. Cheap, effective, everywhere. And then the drug companies arrived, and that brown bottle got pushed to the back of the shelf, not because it stopped working, because nobody could patent it. The first time I sat at a kitchen table in Holmes County, Ohio, watching an Amish grandmother clean her butcher block with nothing but that brown bottle and a clean rag, I asked her what brand of disinfectant she used for the heavy jobs. She just smiled and pointed at the same bottle. That was it. One bottle, 15 jobs. But first you need to know who took this knowledge from your grandmother's kitchen and why. This works whether your house was built last year or back in 1952. Stay with me. Hydrogen peroxide is not new. It was discovered in 1818 by a French chemist named Louis-Jacques Thenard. By the early 1900s, doctors were using it in hospitals across England and America. In 1920, The Lancet published that report about doctors using hydrogen peroxide to treat pneumonia during the influenza pandemic. They saved lives with it. And then something happened. The 1940s rolled in, prescription drugs took over the medical world, and that humble brown bottle got pushed to the back of the shelf, not because it stopped working, because nobody could patent it. Nobody could mark it up 4,000%. Nobody could build a billion-dollar brand around a chemical that costs less than a candy bar. But the Amish never got the memo. They kept using it. They kept passing the knowledge down from grandmother to mother to daughter, from grandfather to father to son. While the rest of us were filling our cabinets with 20 different sprays, 20 different bottles, 20 different chemical smells, the Amish were quietly solving every single one of those problems with one bottle. Let me show you the first one. Walk into any Amish kitchen at harvest time, and you will see a large stainless steel bowl on the counter. Inside that bowl is water, and floating in that water are fresh-picked tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries, lettuce, whatever came in from the garden that morning. What you cannot see is what makes the whole thing work. 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 3 parts water. That is the ratio. They soak the produce for about 3 to 5 minutes, then rinse it under clean running water and pat it dry. What that solution does is strip off dirt, kill bacteria sitting on the skin, and break down pesticide residue that even commercial veggie washes leave behind. The produce lasts longer in the refrigerator. The leafy greens stay crisp for days instead of going slimy by Wednesday. I tried it on a head of romaine from my own grocery store, and it stayed firm for 9 days. 9 days. Before, I was throwing out half of it by day 4. That is the first use. That is just the beginning. Because here's what I learned next. The same brown bottle that cleans your strawberries also kills the mold growing in the corner of your bathroom. Spray 3% hydrogen peroxide directly onto moldy tile or grout. Let it sit for 10 minutes. You will hear it bubbling. That bubbling is the oxygen molecules tearing the mold spores apart at the root level. Scrub with a stiff brush, rinse, and dry. The mold is gone. Not covered up. Gone. And I want you to think about something for a second. The bathroom mold spray you buy at the store. $7, maybe $8. Smells like a chemical factory. Warning labels all over the back. Now compare that to a bottle of peroxide that costs you under $1 and works just as well, if not better. Use number 3 is whitening your grout. Mix equal parts hydrogen peroxide and baking soda into a paste. Spread it along the grout lines with a small brush. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Scrub with an old toothbrush and rinse. Grout that has been gray and grimy for 15 years comes back almost white. Use number 4 is cleaning the inside of your slow cooker. Same paste, peroxide and baking soda. Spread it inside the stained ceramic crock. Let it sit for an hour. Scrub with a non-abrasive sponge. Those brown burned-on rings around the inside disappear. Use number 5 is sanitizing your kitchen cutting board. After cutting raw chicken or pork, spray straight peroxide on the board. Let it foam for 2 minutes. Rinse. The board is disinfected at a hospital-grade level. Not because I am exaggerating, but because a 2024 study in the American Journal of Veterinary Research confirmed hydrogen peroxide kills over 90% of natural bacteria at the right concentration and exposure time. That is published science. Use number 6 is laundry. Add a half cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide to your white load. It brightens whites better than chlorine bleach and does not destroy the fibers the same way. The Amish use it on work shirts, on aprons, on bed sheets, on the white prayer coverings the women wear. It works. Use number 7 is removing rust stains from fabric. Saturate the rust stain with peroxide, then squeeze fresh lemon juice on top of it. Set the fabric in direct sunlight for 1 hour. The combination of peroxide and citric acid, activated by UV light from the sun, dissolves iron oxide stains that have set for years. Now, if you already own a house and you are thinking this only applies to people building from scratch or to folks living on a working farm, stay with me, because this next part is specifically for you. If your house was built before 1980, you almost certainly have problems hiding in places you have never thought to look. The Amish know this because they have been maintaining old farmhouses for generations, houses built in the 1800s that are still standing, still warm, still healthy, and the brown bottle is at the center of how they do it. But here is where it gets serious for the home you already own. Use number 8, your refrigerator. Pull everything out. Spray the inside walls, the shelves, the drawers with 3% peroxide straight from the bottle. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Wipe down with a clean cloth. What you have just done is kill Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli. The refrigerator deep clean is one of the most important Amish kitchen rituals, and they do it once a month. But here is where it gets more interesting. The place mold actually grows where you cannot see it. Use number 9, your washing machine. Modern front-load washers grow mold inside the rubber gasket. That is why your laundry sometimes comes out smelling musty. Spray peroxide directly into the gasket, into the detergent drawer, into the drum. Run an empty hot wash cycle. The mold is gone and the smell goes with it. Use number 10, your dishwasher. Pour a cup of peroxide into the bottom of the empty dishwasher and run a normal cycle. The interior gets sanitized, the spray arms get cleaned out, and the food gunk hiding under the filter gets broken down. But therefore these next ones matter most for the older American house. Use number 11 is for the toilet bowl. Pour a half cup of peroxide into the bowl, let it sit for 30 minutes, then scrub with a brush. The stains under the rim that have resisted every commercial cleaner you ever bought start to dissolve. The Amish use this same method on outhouses and composting toilets. That is the kind of practical wisdom you do not get from a chemistry book. You get it from 100 years of people figuring out what works because they had to. Use number 12, your toothbrush. Soak it in a small cup of peroxide for 10 minutes once a week. You just killed every bacteria that was multiplying on those bristles for the last 7 days. Use number 13, your cuts and scrapes. They do not pour peroxide directly into a deep wound that actually slows healing. They use it for the first cleaning only, to flush dirt and bacteria out, then rinse with clean water and bandage. One application, done. Use number 14, your garden. Mix 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide with 1 cup of water and soak your seeds for a few hours before planting. The peroxide softens the hard seed coat and kills surface fungus. Beans, peas, and squash germinate faster and stronger. The Amish have been using this method for generations, long before any university study confirmed it worked. Use number 15, your chicken coop. After you clean out the coop, spray 3% peroxide on the walls, the roosting bars, the floor. It kills poultry pathogens, including the bacteria and viruses that cause respiratory disease in chickens. No residue, no harm to the birds. Healthy chickens lay more eggs. The chemical industry sold $3.2 billion of household cleaners last year. The brown bottle was not on their list. And every single one of these 15 uses was being practiced by Amish families before most of us were born. The average American household spends about $600 a year on cleaning products, disinfectants, stain removers, and personal care items. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics consumer spending data, if you add that up over 30 years of being a homeowner, you have spent close to $18,000 on stuff that one brown bottle could have replaced. That is the cost of not knowing. That is the price of letting somebody else decide what belongs in your cabinet. If you have made it this far with that brown bottle, here is where it all comes together. One bottle, 15 uses, and what this next farmer figured out, plus the lime wash thermal wall, the ginger bug and the long bug, the evaporative cooling bucket, the $3 water throttle, and everything else pulled out of Lancaster County and Holmes County over the years. All of it lives in one place now. The Amish home system, link in the description. The dairy farmer the milk inspectors could never figure out is next. Now, I promised you a finale technique, and I want to deliver on that promise. I came across a reference to an old Amish dairy farmer in Lancaster County. They called him Elam, who was getting milk inspections done in 1983. The inspectors kept calling him. They could not figure out why his raw milk had almost no bacterial count. They asked him over and over what he was doing. He never told them, because what he was doing was something his family had been doing for nearly a century, and he did not want the regulators to take it away from him. He was using food-grade hydrogen peroxide to clean his milking lines and his milk storage. What he had figured out was that hydrogen peroxide does not just kill bacteria, it removes something called milkstone. Milkstone is a hard, calcified residue made of milk proteins, fats, and minerals that builds up on the inside of milking equipment. Once it forms, bacteria hide inside it and become almost impossible to kill with regular sanitizers, but peroxide breaks it down, dissolves it, and here is where it gets interesting for you. Even if you do not own a dairy farm, the same chemistry works in your home. Anywhere you have hard water buildup mixed with biological residue, your coffee maker, your humidifier, your tea kettle, the inside of your reusable water bottle, your shower head, those places have their own version of milkstone, hard mineral deposits with bacteria hiding inside them. You take 3% food-grade hydrogen peroxide, you fill the appliance or container halfway, you add an equal amount of distilled water, you let it sit overnight. The next morning, you pour it out and rinse 3 times with clean water. What comes out is the buildup that has been growing inside your appliances for years. The taste of your coffee changes. The mist from your humidifier stops smelling musty. The water from your reusable bottle tastes clean again. This is the technique that the milk inspector could not figure out. It was hiding in plain sight in the hands of an Amish farmer in Lancaster County who knew that the simplest solution was usually the right one. Now, before I take you to the close, there are a few more things that came out of conversations all over the country: Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, from people who grew up around plain communities, and they deserve their proper place here. A woman named Edna, 68 years old, lives outside Lancaster County and has been using hydrogen peroxide in her home since 1974. That is the year she got married, and her mother-in-law handed her a brown glass bottle and a clean cotton rag and said, "This is the first thing you put under your sink." Edna told me that her mother-in-law learned the trick from her own mother, who started using peroxide back in the 1940s during the war years, when bleach was rationed and families had to make do with whatever the local pharmacies still had on the shelf. 3% hydrogen peroxide cost about 29 cents a bottle back then. Today it costs about 88 cents at the bigger discount stores. Compare that to the $4, $6, sometimes $9 spray bottles of name brand cleaner sitting on the shelf right next to it. Cleaners that, in many cases, list hydrogen peroxide as the second or third ingredient on the label, padded out with fragrance, dye, surfactants, and water. You are paying a markup of 800 to 1,000% for water and perfume. The active ingredient, the thing actually doing the work, is the brown bottle. Here is a refinement on the cutting board method that came from a man named Amish in Holmes County, Ohio. He runs a small butcher operation, has done it for over 30 years, and he told me that after the peroxide bubbles up and you wipe it down, you should follow it with a second spray of plain white vinegar, not mixed together in the same bottle, never mixed in the same bottle, but applied separately, one after the other. The peroxide handles one category of bacteria. The vinegar handles a different category. Used in sequence, never combined, they cover a far wider range than either one alone. Researchers at Virginia Tech studied this exact two-step method back in 1996 and found it reduced Salmonella, E. coli, and Shigella counts by more than 99% on wooden surfaces. The Amish were doing it 50 years before the study came out. If you keep backyard hens, 1 tablespoon of 3% hydrogen peroxide per gallon of fresh water added directly to the waterer once a week keeps the water clear and the bacterial load down. A farmer named Jonas in Indiana told me he has used this method for 22 years and has not lost a hen to respiratory infection in all that time. He used to lose 2 or 3 a year before he started. The same principle applies to livestock troughs. Half a cup of 3% peroxide per 50 gallons of trough water once a week keeps the green slime from forming on the sides and bottom. It breaks down into water and oxygen within 24 to 48 hours, leaving nothing behind. Hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, occurs naturally in rainwater. It occurs in honey, which is one reason raw honey resists spoilage. It occurs in the human body, produced by our own immune cells as a frontline defense against pathogens. Your white blood cells literally manufacture hydrogen peroxide to kill invaders. It is one of the oldest antimicrobial compounds on Earth, predating humans by billions of years. And when it breaks down into 2 things, water and oxygen. No residue, no runoff, no buildup in your pipes or your septic tank or the soil in your garden. Compare that to what happens when you pour a cup of bleach down your drain. Bleach reacts with organic matter in your pipes and forms chlorinated byproducts, chloroform, chloramines, trihalomethanes, compounds that the EPA has been studying for decades. The Amish figured out a long time ago that whatever you put on your counter, you are also putting in your air, your water, and eventually your body. They chose the brown bottle for a reason. One final tip, your dish sponge. By every microbiological study ever done on it, the single dirtiest object in the average American home, dirtier than the toilet seat. A 2017 German study found over 360 different species of bacteria living in the average used kitchen sponge, with concentrations rivaling those found in raw sewage. The Amish solution is simple. At the end of the day, every day, you soak the sponge in a small bowl of 3% hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes. Squeeze it out and let it air dry overnight on a wire rack, not in a closed sponge holder where moisture gets trapped. That one habit, done daily, keeps the bacterial count low enough that the sponge stays usable for 3 or 4 weeks instead of 3 or 4 days. Over a year, that saves you about $40 in sponges. So here is what I want you to feel right now. You did not just watch a video about cleaning hacks. You recovered something, a small piece of knowledge that was taken from you by an industry that profits from your forgetting. You are the kind of person who believes that real wisdom does not come from a marketing department. It comes from people who have been doing things the right way, the simple way for generations. Tell me in the comments below which one of these 15 uses are you going to try first this week? Is it the cutting board, the washing machine gasket, the seed soak, or the finale technique with the appliances? I read every comment and I want to know which one hit home for you. Leave it below. And if you are tired of being sold things you do not need, if you are ready to recover the kind of practical knowledge that built this country before the cleaning aisle existed, hit that subscribe button. My next video gets into something even bigger. The Amish use one common kitchen ingredient, not peroxide this time, something even cheaper to keep their basements dry without a single dehumidifier running. I will show you the exact method, the exact ratio, and the exact spot in your basement where it has to go. That video is coming next. Until then, go open that medicine cabinet, pick up that brown bottle, and start taking back what was always yours to begin with.